What is up, guys and gals? Welcome to another episode of the Nonstop Review. I am your host, as always, Devon, and joining me equally as always is Rick.
Hello, everybody.
Those of you familiar with this brand of the show know we don't like to mince words, we like to jump straight in. So with that in mind, Rick, what are we doing today, buddy?
Steven Universe Future, Episode 15, Mr. Universe. 3, 2, 1, and go.
I suspect we will not be seeing a cameo from Mr. Schwarzenegger.
Yes, a different Mr. Universe. The other Mr. Universe.
What is it like? Mr. Universe is so rigged because, no one apart from Earth has won it.
Yeah.
That's a surprisingly good-looking ice cream. Oh, and then they ruined it by putting... That's just ruined it. You fucked it,
piece
mate.
of pie.
Oh, God, Greg does look a lot like Homer Simpson with his hair short.
He does a bit. I like how he calls it ice cream a la pie, though.
Sorry, do you want to play Conquerors of Eldamore, or do you want to play a game?
Yeah, a game on just the GameCube that's there.
Hang on, we'll see if they zoom back out, but there's a board game. Yeah, there's a board game that just says a game. It is kind of one of the most unfair things to do to, 15 to 16-year-olds, where it's like, you're about to leave compulsory education, you now have to choose what you're going to do for the rest of your life. It's unreasonable at best.
Yeah, it's really...
shit.
It's dumb, because it works for some people, but for the vast majority of people, it just doesn't. But, that's kind of by design, it seems.
Well, they don't actually want people to do what they want for a living. They want most people to go, well, there's nothing better for me to do. I'm going to sign up for the old factory and wear my body out by the time I'm 40.
Yeah. They want people to be at the bottom of pyramids. Otherwise, they can't be a pyramid.
I respect Greg's first solution is a road trip.
Yeah. That's Steven looking like Buck.
Looks like a drug deal's about to go down.
I've also done that. Just gone to a restroom and just gone, nope, I can hold it. I'd rather piss on a tree.
Well, we've got a friend who is, we won't name them, but who is very picky when it comes to restrooms. And I remember when we were up north with you last, which kind of narrows it down a little bit, but fuck it, whatever, it's only us who know. We went to a bathroom, or rather, I went to the bathroom in a certain restaurant, and it was a really fucking mingy fucking bathroom. Like, it looked like it was a toilet from the 70s. It had the old school metal urinal it's like a trough. And I was like, fuck me, you think they'd be able to afford to update this bathroom? Anyway, I went and had my piss. And then our friend was like, I'm going to go to the bathroom. And I went, fair warnings, you're not going to use it. And sure enough, he didn't.
Yep.
Greg, this is a crime.
Yeah. Doing crimes.
That makes it okay then.
The pearls.
This place does look abandoned, to be fair.
Yep.
Wait, hang on, is this like the DeMaio family home then?
Yeah, it is. Love lives here.
I tried to get potpourri, but they don't really sell it anymore. I've got one of those fucking oil diffusers instead.
Oh, yeah. To be honest, the old diffuser is probably a better idea. I've got the halfway house. I've got a, yeah, there we are.
Oh, wait, didn't his parents fucking give up on him because he wanted to be a rock star instead of fucking...
Yeah.
Hmm. Man, if you're a parent and you do that, fuck you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are they still alive? Because if so, you're relatively lucky, Greg. Even though you don't
I
get
think
on.
they are, yeah.
But then again, you don't get on with them, so it's one of those. This does explain a lot
Oh,
about
man.
Greg's personality, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, that he's just so accepting of other things. But it does kind of paint the picture of if he wasn't even allowed to have tacos, then it paints that picture of how white these people were.
Okay. I'm sorry, Greg was a mathlete.
Well, he's a business runner.
Oh.
He looks a bit more like the uncle
Yeah.
with his hair short.
This was the first
like antique
doobie I
guitar
ever
picks or
smoked,
something.
Stephen. Do they even call them doobies anymore?
I think technically they refer to doobie as the one that has no tobacco in.
Ah. Dude, I don't know. I don't smoke regular stuff, let alone fucking drugs.
Oh, no.
Oh, my drug knowledge is exclusively from shows that are aimed at stoners, and even then, you know that it's not real, terms.
Yeah. It's one of those, like, I've never smoked leafy greens, apart from having something passed around when I was at uni. But, that's having things passed around is different to having one for yourself.
If you say so, man. Kerry Moonbeam looks hot.
Hmm.
And I don't even know what gender they are.
No.
They could be either. Oh, it sounds like a dude. It sounds like Bowie.
A little bit. I think that's what they're going for. It's one of those things. It's like Elvis. Like you can listen to Elvis, but if you weren't there in the surrounding universe at the time and the zeitgeist, you don't get the context.
But look at the magic in Greg's eyes as he sings.
Hmm.
I don't like the fact that Steven's a bit angry about that.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe it's not the most sensitive thing to say, but a lot of gender rebels choose their new name from something that they really, really love.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Okay, sure. I get what they're going for. It's a cycle.
Yeah.
Like, Everybody wants what they didn't have. That's part of the problem, especially when you're growing up. Like, Stephen's at a particularly tender age, and he's already done a lot of his life.
Yeah. Oh no.
Yeah, you can no longer steer the car.
At least the brake still works.
Yeah,
at least the brake still works.
Like, weirdly, Greg was the most in danger in that scenario, though.
Oh, 100%. Greg's always the most in danger when gem stuff happens.
Yeah, Greg's style of parenting may not be the best for this particular scenario, but he doesn't know any better.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's some fucking horror movie music they're using. Not even music, but you know.
It is a bit.
Yeah, that was... I don't know, I'm probably feeling like Greg did during the actual episode, where it's like, I don't really know what went wrong. Except, as a viewer, you can kind of see what went wrong, but it doesn't make a whole lot of sense until you put yourself in the shoes of Stephen.
Yeah, Stephen goes to a place where he sees that Greg had structure, and he just longs for it. Like, Greg had to rebel, because that was the person that he was. Stephen can't really rebel, because he doesn't have the constraints, really.
But even when he does, and he tells Greg off, like, it's almost as if Stephen wants conflict, because Greg's response is, well, you stuck up for me, and I'm proud that you were able to do that, because I couldn't do that shit. But that's not what Stephen wants. Stephen wants a foe.
Yeah, because here's the thing. Stephen thrives under conflict. As much as he is the empathetic hero who will recruit you to his side through attrition if need be, that situation needs the conflict to be there for him to resolve it. And that's just the thing. He has a need to resolve. And if there's nothing to resolve, that's where he starts to get listless.
Yeah, I see what you're throwing down. Apart from what we mentioned, what do you think?
It was a slow episode. It was a good Greg episode. Stephen was a pain in the arse. How about you? What do you think?
As a viewer, Stephen was a pain in the arse. On that, I absolutely agree. However, again, putting yourself in Stephen's shoes, which isn't something a lot of people do when they watch shows because they just want to watch the thing and be entertained, and that's perfectly valid in its own right. But put yourself in Stephen's shoes, and you can totally see where Stephen's coming from. As me watching, I think Stephen's entirely in the wrong, but it's easy saying that when you're not the person.
It's okay to be in the wrong, even if you're the protagonist. Like, Stephen is much more of a Harry Potter than a lot of other protagonists, in that we don't see a lot of things that are not seen by Stephen.
Don't like comparing things to Harry Potter, you know me.
Yeah, but like, the idea is we've followed Stephen all this time, and it's kind of jarring.
Call him the camera or something. Don't compare him to fucking Harry Potter.
Yeah, but like, took me a long time to realise that you didn't see something that wasn't focused on Harry.
Yeah, but Harry Potter's not the first thing that fucking did that.
Oh, totally. At this point, I'm kind of wondering how much of Steven Universe can have been seen without Steven being present.
Well, you'd have to follow the gems, and it wouldn't make any sense, because they'd be speaking in words that you can't comprehend.
Yeah, and thinking on it, I don't think there's very many scenes that don't have Steven.
Well, yeah, but you said it yourself. We need Steven because you need a human element, because otherwise you can't empathise with what's going on.
Yeah, this is one episode where Steven was not very compelling protagonist, and we were able to see his flaws.
Well, I'd argue he was. The protagonist is such a weird role, isn't it? Because he's the character we're following, so we have to see things through his lens. I think if we watch this through Greg's lens, we'd have a very much more positive outlook on the episode, but that's not the name of the show. It's not Greg Universe, it's Steven. Yeah, favourite moment.
My favourite moment was when Greg broke into his house, and Steven was like, "This is a crime!" Or rather, you were like, "This is a crime!" And then Steven said, "That's breaking and entering."
Yeah, it's... Because it's Steven Universe, and it's a bit of a wacky world, so it's actually unclear what is and isn't actually set in stone when it comes to human logic.
Hey, how about you? What was your favourite moment?
Guns ahead, I'd say it was quite amusing seeing the ice cream, because it looked like a really good ice cream, and they fucking ruined it with an apple pie.
Ice cream a la pie. I do like the idea of ice cream a la pie. They've got this big-ass dessert, and then the accent is an additional dessert.
Rick, we need to add to our MVP board. Who's getting it today?
Gotta be Greg, ain't it? He was doing his damnedest to get Stephen out of the funk he's been in, and even after he got a tongue lashing, he still tried.
Yeah, it's funny with Greg, isn't it? Because he tried, but at the same time, it's not going to work this time. Like, Greg is so easygoing that he can't even have a stern talk with his son. And I know that's not the way he lives his life, and I know he's not like that with anyone, but it's what Stephen needs.
Yeah, he needs direction, and he's kind of not getting it now that he's got nothing to fight. But yeah, how about you? Who's going to be your MVP?
Yeah, even though he wasn't the most favourable person in this episode, I'm actually going to give it to Stephen, because it's interesting seeing Stephen go through these mental hardships. And that sounds kind of fucked up when I say it out loud, but do you get where I'm coming from?
Yeah, it's educational to people who are seeing it for the first time, and something relatable for people who've gone through it themselves.
I also think it's very reassuring that despite the fact he keeps bringing up the fact he's not entirely human, Stephen's responses to all of this so far has been remarkably human.
Yeah, I think a part of that is that most writers are human, so they'll focus on the human part whenever they can.
But I also think Greg brings up a good point where, apart from the growing huge and the glowing pink, like, everything Stephen's feeling is normal.
Yeah, it's a normal part of being a teenager.
Join us again next week, guys, where we'll have more Steven Universe Future.
See you later, everyone.